Good morning, all. Let's get this thing started, y'all. Good morning on this AYS morning edition. Welcome back. Oh boy, I got to tell you, I'm not a morning person. These Twitter Spaces are getting all of me. We are about 15 minutes behind, but it's okay. It's okay. We do got a lot to get into this morning, though. We do have a lot to get into this morning. More on Brian Kelly and LSU football. Guys, it's a must-win today for Will Wade. And not that where LSU's going to fire him or anything. I'm talking about this season, a must-win for Will Wade. You got 3 more games in the regular season: Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama. If you don't win 2 of those games, you could be in trouble. The time for let's wait and see is over with. So we'll talk Will Wade. So basically, we're doing the Holy Trinity, too, because we'll talk some LSU baseball and hashtag Ask Blake. The Holy LSU Trinity. You know, when you're making some gumbo, you put in what's called the Holy Trinity. The bell peppers, the onions, the garlic. You know what I mean. But this is the LSU football, or this is the LSU Holy Trinity. All right. Let's get rolling. We get to most, if not all, of your comments this morning, as we always do on our Saturday morning shows. So we'll get to doing that. Ray Watt 79 says we are live. That we are. Eric Beasley says on YouTube, good morning to the hashtag Rudy Crew. Carl Dunn says, let's go. So does Robert. PC, PJ, and CJ says, we want Ben Ruffino. Ben! Ben! All right, let's see if that gets him moving. I bet you if I said I had some ice cream, he'd come. Ben! We'll see. Let's see if he'll come in here. Craig Schilling says, ah! We are live. That we are. And Pooh Bear says, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Yes, indeed. Blaine Smith says, heard there was a high school in Kansas kicking teenagers for screaming airball because players shot an airball. Ridiculous. Oh, my God. They teasing him. Oh, my God. Blaine, relax, dude. Relax, bro. Just woosah. Woosah. Relax. Tomato. All right. Let's do this. We got a lot to get into. Let's pay some bills very quickly. We'll get to all your comments. Hashtag Ask Blake. Have some questions, have some thoughts. Put it inside the Rudy Crew chat. And we will get to them. None better than our good friends over at betonline.ag. Guys, I've been telling you about BetOnline for such a long time now. If you haven't signed up at the end of the show, use your mobile device. Go to their website, betonline.ag. Use the Believe podcast tab, BLEAV. That's BLEAV. And you'll get 50% off your first welcome bonus. You deposit $100, they'll give you $50 right off the top, vice versa. Can just go over to BetOnline, sign up. There's a lot of basketball today. You can do your parlays from there. It's really, really fun to use. It's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. And our good friends over at NordVPN. Guys, I got to tell you, the peace of mind given to me every time I fire up my laptop, computer, whatever it may be, because of the VPN service that Nord gives us is absolutely amazing. Guys, you've seen the stream and how much better it's gotten because of what we're using and how we're using NordVPN. So get over there today. Use the Believe podcast tab there as well, BLEAV, and you'll get 70% off your first welcome bonus as well. So NordVPN, that's NordVPN. Okay. Now we can officially say, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Craig Schilling says, yes, Saturday morning naked Jaybird is a must. Yeah, I'll try to get him in here. Let me text my wife and tell him and tell him to come in here. Sherry Berry on YouTube says, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Yes. Nookie, my good friend Nookie. Oh, I forgot to say this too off the top. See, that's why I need to stop staying up so late from these Twitter spaces. I forgot to tell everybody to hit the like. So if you're on Facebook, do us a favor by hitting the like and share. If you're on, share to some Facebook groups, share to your own social media pages. You know, I see a lot of you that's always in there. You know, like the last episode, we had like 6,000 listens and not 6,000, shares. You know, like, come on, bro. I know y'all are listening to it for a minimum of 17.5 seconds or 17 minutes and 5 seconds. But, I mean, come on. You're listening to the intro. Do a brother a solid. Hit the like button. Hit the share. My wife says he's playing, so we'll see. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. If you listen to us on an audio podcast platform, hit the rate and subscribe button. Guys, please, if you go to Spotify, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, please go over there and rate and subscribe. Please, I really would appreciate it if y'all would do that too. Had some troll accounts giving us like a 1 star saying that they've never listened but they still think that we're trash. So please go over like the Apple Podcasts, Are You Serious Sports, hit the 5-star rate, subscribe. You know, people are just miserable sometimes. So we would greatly appreciate that. But Nookie says Starkville is in shambles. The state fans think NKU is North Korean University. What, Kim Jong-un is the first overall pick? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Not good times over at Mississippi State, man. See, it's hard to repeat as national champs. Everybody's coming after you. Everybody's coming after you. Doesn't matter who it is. Gregory Ford says, when are you turning pro? Whenever ESPN calls. Blaine Smith says, Mardi Gras time. Good morning to everyone. Holden Lee says 8-16. Talking about Will Wade and his record against the AP top 25. Yeah, look, guys, this is a must win. This is a must win for Will Wade and LSU basketball. There's no doubt about it. And look, I'm kind of, you kind of got me at a point where I really don't care right now. So I'm just going to kind of let things fly. At some point, he's got to adjust, man. I don't want to hear. This is what I don't want to hear from Will Wade defenders. Shut up. He's got to adjust. Man up. Let him do what he's got to do. Must win today. Go out there and win the game. You have the talent. There's no reason that you're up 10 against the University of Kentucky and you're up by 15 against South Carolina and you're losing both games. That is a reason. That is coaching. That 1,000% is coaching. You never see really good coached teams. Well, let me say this. You see really good coached teams adjusting midway through games, halfway through the first half, halfway through the second half. Will Wade talks about his 6-minute games and they don't adjust. Screw your 6-minute game. Screw it. If you're up by 10 and then you lose it because you lose your 6-minute game, the way that you break games down, it doesn't mean anything. We got to stop babying him. I like Will Wade. And what I just said is going to go out the window for some. People are clicking out and they're going to go say whatever they want to say about Will Wade. You better hit this like and share. You better tell every LSU fan about this. I am tired. I mean tired, sick, Rudy Pood on having to not have a good take about Will Wade or you not being able to have a good take about Will Wade because everybody is going to come at you no matter what about what you say about Will Wade. You got a must win today. You better go do it. Xavier Penson, plays his former team. Can he get rolling? Is this a game that he's, is a little bit more motivated because he's going against his old team? Regardless of all that, I don't care if you win by 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 1. I don't care if you blow them out by 62, 69. Pause. It doesn't matter what you beat them by. Win the game today. That is all I care about. Make adjustments. Again, nobody is calling for Will Wade to be fired. No one. I mean, absolutely no one. We got to stop babying him. Yeah, I forgot about the celery. Max Julian says, don't forget about the celery. It's too early in the morning for me to be thinking about gumbo. But we got to stop babying Will Wade. PJ and CJ says LMAO. Yeah, Megan said he's playing. Benjamin! Usually every time I call him, he comes. Craig Schilling says Nookie, Little Rocket Man invading Starkville. Yeah, Starkville, look, my Mississippi State's not in a good place right now. It's just not in a good place right now. Don't bother me none. David Singley Jr. says, what's going on, Mr. Ruffino? Been a while. Let's get it, boys. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. We hadn't seen you in here. Pooh Bear says, did you know gumbo is an oh. Y'all reading this? Angolian word for okra. So gumbo without okra is just soup. Come here, Ben. I'm right here. Come here, buddy. Come on. They want to see you. Daddy's show. Come on. You want your mama? Hi, 1, 2. Hiya! Oh. That's not. Yeah, this is ice cream. Look, this is your play ice cream. What? Eat it. I'm not eating that. You eat it. Oh! This isn't real ice cream. Hey, they hadn't seen you. What? You got ice cream. The people haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to? Tell them what they've been up to. How's school going? Okay. How's it been going? All right. They wanted to see you. There you go, PJ and CJ. There you go. Pooh Bear says, Ben is fresh early this morning. Yeah, we are going to be leaving. We're going out of town. But yeah. Pooh Bear says, hey, Ben, tell Mommy Uncle Pooh Bear's a real man. If you missed that inside joke, it's pretty funny. Anyway, you leaving me? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. You want Mama? Okay. Hey, you want me to fix your hat? All right. He's getting more independent every single day. Thank you, buddy. Now he closes the door. We told him during the week he can't come in the the shows during the week, and he kind of took that to heart. Okay. Blaine Smith says Blake Money was very impressive again last night. He was. And look, when you talk about LSU baseball, I know people are freaking out about them only scoring 6 runs. Whatever. They won. The more bats you get in baseball, the better you'll get, the more rhythm you'll get. I mean, guys, look, they're under a new regime. They haven't seen some of these guys before. They'll be fine. What do you expect from them? I mean, what if they come out today and they, what was the final score of the first Friday night game? I don't remember. But then they come out and they score 20 runs the next 2 games or something like that. I mean, stop it. There was somebody in the show Thursday saying to fire Jay Johnson because he's too short. I mean, look, y'all got to stop with that. Y'all are the ones that drive this narrative. You drive the narrative of, I say you guys, I'm talking about some fans, you drive the narrative of you can't talk anything negative about Will Wade, and then you're saying fire Jay Johnson after 4 games. Like, are you that naive on how this kind of stuff works? Like, what sporting events have you watched? Let me come to your local State Farm. Shout out Carroll Falls State Farm, 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300. Let me come to this local State Farm that you work at and start telling you that you should be fired. Fire Brad. Fire Brad. Brad, you better get those quarterly reports up. You better get those quarterly numbers up. The paid for sheet just came in and you're $50,000 below average. That didn't play well, did it? David says that people are upset with the loss of Louisiana Tech, thinking it's the same LSU baseball team. I don't think so. No, it's not the same baseball team. No, it's not the same baseball team. So, yeah. Tyson Messer says, "How are you this morning? Love your show. Tell how it is, Blake." Thank you. Doing good. Doing good. The family's got to pack up and leave. We got some things we got to go do this week during Mardi Gras week. No, not pleasure. We'll be doing the show live from not on location this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, I think Wednesday we'll do it from location. We'll see how that goes. But Monday and Tuesday we will not do it live from location. Ty Bujo sends some stars via Facebook. Thank you very much. Jason says the dude threw 95 pitches last night. Yeah, look, Blake Money was impressive, man. Blake Money was impressive. And you got to give it to him. He's had 2 outings. He's been very impressive. Tyson says Will Wade is going to be at LSU, Louisiana State unemployment. I am not saying to fire Will Wade. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. But how in the world am I getting comments inside the show saying fire Jay Johnson? But you can't critique Will Wade, guys. He's not good at in-game adjustments. At the end of the season, he's going to have to fire some coaches that he's got on staff now, and he's going to have to bring some other coaches in that can help him change and do adjustments in the middle of the game. I don't want to hear that. Oh, well, Blake, they're giving their effort. It's been way too long. 5 years, not past the second round. Blake, what about Adam Miller? Well, the last time you said when a player was out and it completely affected LSU's win and loss total, I understand what Adam Miller could have done to help you. But the last time you said that was, oh, well, Blake, LSU just lost 6 of 7. Wait till they get Xavier Pinson back. And they've lost the last 2 games when Xavier Pinson's been back. And not only that, when he scores 26 points, they lose, and then he goes 6 of 20 from the field. You got to stop. Them not making in-game adjustments is the problem. You go and recruit Efton Reed, and Efton looks like a problem at times, but he gets 2 big baskets, and then you take him out of the game. I get he's in foul trouble, but find a way to get the man out of foul trouble. I'm tired of it. I'm legitimately tired of it. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. Nookie says nobody likes Brad from State Farm. No doubt. Nookie says it's Milazzo the hit king. Good God. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like and share. Share to some Facebook groups. We would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Share. Apparently, everybody's telling me that Alex Milazzo is, he's more effective than the Tiger King. So yeah. Carl Dunn says Ben's about to get his own NIL deal. Hell, I hope so. I hope that for him. It ain't gonna be through me. I've been doing it for 3 years of his life. I'm joking, guys. God, please. I'm joking. Al Andrews says, "Hey, Pooh Bear, a honey bun would be good right now." Yeah, y'all got to be a part of those Twitter Spaces, man. I know that they can be much sometimes, but yeah. Scott Bryan says, "Guess they don't mind Miss State losing to a non-ranked team. People just need to chill." I agree with that. Veronica Ray says, "Is Blake Money a right-handed pitcher?" Because someone pointed out that he was signing autographs with his left hand after the game last night. Well, yeah, he's a right-handed pitcher. Craig Schilling says AYS Margot float would be fly. Lemon pepper steppers on the front, a huge Blake head with a headset on as the feature piece. Ben, Memphis, and Carter with fat heads on the sides. The Drake Law Firm truck tow. I like that. I like that. I like that. Throw me something, mister. We could do it. But every time everybody wants me to do stuff, man. But yeah. Blaine Smith says, "Fire Will Wade, hire Juwan Howard." PJ and CJ says, "I have a question for people that want Will Wade, who we gonna get as a new coach. There's no Brian Kelly of basketball we can go get. The next year is Will Wade's full cycle of recruits. Chill." No, it's not, PJ. He's been here for 5 years. What do you mean full cycle of recruits? And basketball is completely different. When you got one and dones and two and dones, that's not true. And I'm never going to not want to let a coach leave because of what and look, you got to monitor the market. And nobody is saying absolutely no. Again, nobody has said or has come close to saying fire Will Wade. Like nobody. At least I haven't seen it. But he's not above not getting criticized. You know, and look, I was going to talk more on Brian Kelly, and we're going to talk some LSU football too. Look, I think LSU. I'm not going to talk. I mean, look, LSU baseball this weekend. It is what it is. Look, get some more hits. Thought the defense was better. I mean, there's not a lot I could say. I mean, what do you want me to say? There's not a lot I can say at the current moment. I think they're going to have to work some of these things out by actually being out there and taking live hits and live fielding and stuff like that. But you know, I just can't get over this criticism of Brian Kelly already. You know, man, the dude's impressive. You know, we talked about Thursday night about, guys, think about this. So we went back and watched, and I was told this by LSU, so we went back and made sure that this was correct. Depending on what service you use, whatever, but it still doesn't matter. Over the last 10 years, so, you know, we criticize Brian Kelly. Let me tell you what he's doing in the building. They found out that over the last 10 years, you've had 111 kids from the state of Louisiana playing the NFL. So that's 11 players per recruiting cycle, right? 11 players per recruiting cycle that's going to the NFL that's not on your team. So you mean to tell me, and I get that some kids are going to go elsewhere. Some kids are going to go to Alabama, whatever. Some of it you can't stop. I get that. But guys, if you get 8 or 9 of those players, that's 9 players that went to the NFL that's not a part of your program. And to me, that's too massive of a number. You know, it needs to be somewhere 5, 6, 7. 7 being the absolute max for me. There's no way on God's green earth that there should be 11 players per recruiting cycle over the last 10 years on average per year. So 11. There's no reason why that many players from your state needs to be going to the NFL if they're having success or if they're not having success. You know, Elijah Moore, the running back from ULL and now with San Francisco, that's way too many. It's way too many. I'm not about that life, man. I'm not about that life. So even using analytics to talk about recruiting, be about recruiting, do things in recruiting. I mean, look, that's massive, y'all. It's massive. And when we criticize him about not doing a press conference, it bugs the shit out of me. It really bugs the shit out of me that we got people like ripping on Brian Kelly from our own local media, but won't say two words about Will Wade. Get it just as fiery and passionate about him as you're doing every other coach. Y'all thought I came out here and was playing about all this stuff, didn't you? I ain't playing about this stuff. And then we talk about Jay Johnson. What's Jay Johnson done wrong, guys? He's 4-1. Like what? I mean, I don't get it. The guy just went to Omaha last season. I don't understand it. Blaine Smith is going to check out the Twitter Spaces and see what it's all about. Sounds fun. Yeah, you need to check them out, Blaine. You need to check them out, man. I think it's a fun time. You know the reason that we're in them. And let me tell you this too. We have a local media. I say media, but we have some local people, guys. If you want to talk trash about fans and you want to talk trash. Let me say this very quickly, Blaine, and you do need to go check it out because I'm gonna clip this because I'm gonna make a formal statement on this. If you're gonna make fun of LSU fans and you're gonna mock them, call them out, say things about them, if you're gonna call me out or say things about me, then especially if it's about what goes on in these Twitter Spaces. And then these people that are in the Twitter Spaces, myself included, call you out about coming inside the Twitter Spaces to defend your point and you refuse to do it. People in here, I don't have to say their name, but people in here know who I'm talking about. Then stop. It's not humor anymore. It's not humor. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's aggravating. It's BS. And then you get your little cronies to come and to say stuff to me about something that I never said. You're making fun of a fan. Grow up. But I will tell you this. Kendrick Perkins, as an example. Kendrick Perkins had some really wild words for New Orleans and Zion, which, like, I haven't even talked on Zion yet, which I might do here in a minute. But even this whole Zion thing, Kendrick Perkins said something. It got New Orleans in an uproar. I respect Kendrick Perkins for going inside a Twitter space to talk and debate fans of the New Orleans Pelicans and people from the city of New Orleans about Zion Williamson, about the New Orleans Pelicans. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're not too big to be above people. You're never big enough to be above people. Ever. Ever. There's nobody inside this chat. There's nobody inside this video that I am better than. Vice versa. If you want to talk trash, you better bring your ass inside that Twitter space and talk your stuff. Because where I come from, if you're going to run and cower and be behind a keyboard, that tells me more about who you are as a person than anything else. Now, before you say I'm attacking you, I attack anybody with some stupid ass shit. Steve Ryan says Twitter Spaces sound annoying and frustrating. Why bother? Can't we all get along? No, we can't. It's not about the Twitter Spaces though. It's about when somebody says something and you call them out and you refuse to talk to them. It's about being a man. Be a man. They're not frustrating. They might be frustrating to you. They're not frustrating. Craig Schilling says that anyone criticizing CJJ right now, Coach Jay Johnson, right now won't ever own a pair of lemon pepper steppers. You damn right. You're damn right. I'm not wearing lemon pepper steppers right now, though, man. I got to tell you, I'm craving some lemon pepper. My big butt's about to give me some lemon pepper steppers. I mean, my lemon pepper on. Better get all up in them wings, y'all. Robert Plaisant says people need to relax. Won't win every game in baseball. You will have games that you will struggle. Absolutely. Hey, Helen, this is the fourth time you've done this. Hey, Helen, stop. When y'all keep doing that, y'all are getting blocked. Stop that now. Stop. But I'm not going, there's no reason why I have to go in these Twitter spaces. But I'm gaining a lot of great friends. In these Twitter spaces. But I personally am not above anybody, and you're not above me. Bro, because let me tell you something. I'm going to get off this topic. I promise you this. Seeing these people live flesh and in person, they don't say that shit to my face. I'll slap the dog shit out of somebody. Stop that now. Nookie says, boom, certain members of the local media consider themselves above their audience and would never have the courage to directly engage with someone that disagrees with their lame takes. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, and Ant says those spaces were pretty funny last night. I agree. Look, everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. I have not talked on this Zion thing very quickly, and I know this is LSU space, and we'll continue to get back to LSU space. I'm going to be just a second. Give me a minute. One whole minute. You know what? We'll even time it. It takes more time to time it than it does for me to just say it. Guys, listen, Zion Williamson is lazy. There's nowhere else for me to say it. I get that he's injured, but I've been injured. Guys, let me tell you something. When I tore my ACL, I think it was the partial tear the second time, I lost weight. I rehabbed my butt off. There is absolutely no excuse, zero excuse for Zion Williamson. Look, let me tell you this. There are some business owners that listen to our show. Okay? If you're a business owner and you want to pay me $100,000, $1 million a year, $2 million, $4 million, $20 million a year, you could tell me to do almost anything that is within business. We're not talking about, Blake, would you do this for $1 million? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual stuff. There's nothing that, if you're paying me $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 or above, there's not a lot I wouldn't do for business. Now, I'm not going to break the law or anything like that. But why hasn't the organization talked to Zion Williamson? I know myself and Ant inside the chat have talked about this, but Ant, here's my only thing about this. My only thing about Zion. If I'm David Griffin, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going to Portland. There's absolutely nothing that's stopping me. I would find Zion. If he won't let me in his house, I'm sitting outside. I'm not leaving. So if he's got issues, well, he won't talk to me. I'm going to be the same like I was with Sean Payton, the same way I'm going with David Griffin. Michael Thomas won't talk to me. Bro, look what Sean's just doing. By the way, we haven't even talked about Sean Payton, too, who completely quit to make more money, and then he labeled it as, I'm retiring. Complete nonsense. He's going to Fox. Get on a plane and then go. 1 minute's up. Derek says your 1 minute is up. Okay. Luis says Wade is the best thing since Dale Brown, so stop the crying. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody says that Will Wade's the best thing since Dale Brown. I completely forget a guy by the name of John Brady. Guys, John Brady got you to a Final Four. What the hell do you mean? Nobody. See, this is Luis. I don't mean this in a wrong way. Or Lewis. I'm sorry. However you pronounce your name. I don't mean this in a wrong way. Okay? We got to grow up from this. When you're bringing in the recruiting classes that Will Wade's bringing in, you have to be able to have the ability to criticize him. Grow up. He's the best coach since Dale Brown. I don't care if he was the best coach since Jesus H. Christ. I don't care. I don't care. Guys, you got a lottery pick on this team, and you're going down the stretch without getting him involved in your offense. Guys, think about this. You're up by 10 in the second half, and you don't game plan something to get Tari Easton the ball. Sounds good. Let Xavier Pinson go 6 of 20. Pooh Bear says, I can love the things I criticize, and I can criticize the things I love. Preach, Pooh Bear. Preach. Chili says, hashtag Ask Blake, I agree with the criticism, but have you played basketball before? Yes. Have you played offensive line inside or have you played offensive line in college? Then don't ever come in here and talk about offensive line. Don't ever. So again, if you're going to talk about that, see, there's a defense around Will Wade. There's a defense around it. What have I said that's not realistic? You know what? Fine. James Craig could get fired because the NCAA is on campus. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. Lack of institutional control, an investigation from the NCAA, FBI's on your campus. Who gives a damn shit? Blake, it's a witch hunt. A witch hunt, it's not a witch hunt when he's on a recorded FBI wiretap. That is not a witch hunt. The witch hunt is Pat Forty with his big nose and big chin like he's from the Angels in the outfield when the guy who's a broadcaster, okay, that's the witch hunt. That there's more things that are coming. Like, come on. And Chili asked about high level of basketball. Chili, have you? Because quite honestly, it does not matter. It does not matter if you're going to criticize other coaches, but you refuse to criticize Wade. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Edward O, we're gonna have to wrap it up early today too because we got to get ready to leave. Edward O says, but Will Wade recruits 5 stars. Well, Steven Ryan says LSU B-ball definitely underperforming based on the talent in the team. Coaching plays a big part into that. Yeah, and they underperformed the season ago. They underperformed they literally underperformed the season ago. Tigers Avenue podcast, I went on their show last night. He says, it's a problem when the same mistakes are happening over and over again. And he himself is recognizing in post-game, but he can't adjust in-game. I agree with that. Aunt Marshall says 15-0 and then 4.9 cents. Yeah, that's not good. Chili says it does matter, Blake, when you ask someone in the Spacians that they played O-line before to make a point. That's a completely different argument. Here's why. And you're like, oh, well, I knew Blake was going to say that. When you talk about offensive line play, I'm talking about a specific position group. Talking about a specific position group in football is completely different than coaching. The point is, I'm not making. See, Vic. Here's the problem with your assessment here. Is I'm not making an X's and O's argument. I never came out here and said I'm an elite basketball idealist or offensive game planner or anything like that. My point is that you're 15-0 and then 4-9. I know enough about coaching and coaches that he's not making in-game adjustments. Like, I don't get that. This is not the Will Wade Bash Fest. PJ says if Will Wade loses tonight, there will be questions because LSU needs to have the quote unquote standard to always beat those bottom feeders. Wade will be fine this season. Has been on a roller coaster. Yeah, and this is just not a this is not just a first time thing either. And Marshall says Trajan Langdon already went to Portland to see Zion, but I understand that. I understand that. I want David Griffin. I want high level personnel, not Trajan. And here's my only point about all this. Take the analogy for what it is. I don't mean it specifically. You know the old saying, you don't send a boy to do a man's job. You don't send a girl to do a woman's job. You don't send that level of employee to do David Griffin's job. Live by the sword, die by the sword. You drafted him. You got him here. You have a problem with him. I want David Griffin on a plane today. All-Star break, go see him. Go get him. All you got to say is listen, you want your staff, your people to come down to New Orleans. Let's do it. And I think you know what I mean there. And says, I don't disagree, but Trajan is second behind Griffin, and Griffin is the reason for the Zion rift. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Maybe you're right there. Maybe you're right there. But I'm not I get it, but I mean look, maybe I'm just cut from a different cloth. There's no way that I'm not going to be in New Orleans receiving money and not talking to the team. You know what it is? It's very, why? Let me ask this question: Why is this happening with Michael Thomas and Zion, with the same people in the organization that are affiliated with the Saints and Pelicans? That's a bigger question for me. Jerry Zimmerman says you ain't got to be a coach to see Will Wade struggles offensively, and I'm talking about individualized. When I was making the argument about someone, so this is what happened in that Twitter space. Somebody was debating me about offensive line play, and with all due respect, they had no idea what they're talking about. Me criticizing Will Wade, I have not come out here and says, hey, this is the X's and O's problem. That's not what I'm saying. The only thing that I'm saying is he's got to find a way to win. And people have to start criticizing him more. We praised him all the time. We got to keep him accountable. That's all I'm saying. And says you're not wrong though. Griff should be making that trip, and Zion should be in NOLA. That's my only point is if Griff is the highest level official outside of the Benton family, and I'll be honest, get her on a plane. Let her tell him no, or let him tell her no. Because look, if I am a business owner and I'm paying someone millions and millions of dollars and they're nowhere to be found, you best believe my big ass is getting on a plane, flying to wherever he is, going to his house and saying, bro, you gonna have to look me in my face and tell me why you ain't showing up. All right. Carl the Cat Don comes with a couple comments, and he says, all great points. Time to get this basketball stuff right. Every game is a must-win now. Get the ball to Eason. I agree. Carl Dunn says there's a disconnect with Griffin and Zion. Absolutely there is. And look, I'm not as well versed on the rift there. I'm just not. So maybe I need to do more digging, but on the surface to me it feels like Zion's immature. And that's how I see it. Now I could be wrong there, but what I don't like, let me tell you what I don't like. I don't like media members making fun of his weight though. I don't appreciate Fletcher Mackel talking about his weight. I get, look, I've joked about it, but look, listen to me. I might clip this too. As somebody who has been, guys, as someone who has struggled with weight issues their entire life, and I say weight issues, whatever it is, what it is, shut up. You have no idea mentally what goes through your head when you're injured. Let me tell you something. Last point, then we're going to get to these final comments and we're getting out of here. Mentally, an injury like an ACL is more mental than it is physical. I've been there. Physically, you'll be fine. Physically, you will come back. It's a mental warfare. It's a mental warfare. And calling him fat, tweeting out floats and tagging him saying, hey, fat ass. Boy. Ant says, yeah, it's hard to say no to the owner. Yeah, it's really hard to say no to an owner. And he says, and feed Efton. Yeah, feed Efton. I mean, guys, Efton's shooting like 80% from the floor. Get him the ball. All right, guys, we will see y'all again Monday. We will not be live from the AYS studios. We'll be live from somewhere else. We'll let you know where we are soon. Making a little bit of a trip. Life happens, bro. All right, we'll see y'all soon. Have a good day. Go Tigers. Peace out, Girl Scouts.